So I was doing a little bit of research in my free time, and I came across a piece that I had seen before, but never really did a lot of research into. In fact, no research into. And I'm familiar with Lego having made a lot of sort of extraneous pieces that never really saw use in the sets they may have been included with, whether it was these rubber band holders made from Lego in two various different sizes, until inevitably they started including cardboard containers for rubber bands instead, or even little things like this, little canister lids for Bionicle, for Robo Riders, for other themes as well. But what I find really fascinating is when we have a true one-for-one Technic piece that just never got used, at least not on its own. So the piece I want to show you today is going to be over here in the studio. Why don't you come on over with me? And hey, I'm Skybird. Might as well subscribe while you're here if you like content like this. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. So this right here is the piece in question. Piece 43464. It's a steering arm, and it is a 4x3. I mean, you can read this on the bottom of the screen as well. But it's really fascinating because it looks, just off the bat, like a piece that you would have seen come from Lego, right? It feels like some other pieces that we have in existence, Technic triangles, slicer feet, a couple of other pieces as well that have some of the connections that this has, maybe not to the same degree. But this one's really interesting in that it has these side-to-side axle holes, but then also just a very large cutaway that looks as though it could actually accept a full-on like connector or another lift arm through it or something else along those lines, right? And that's something that I find really unusual. In a lot of ways, you could almost see this as a lift arm extender amongst other things. Now, I don't have this piece to test around with, but as I was looking online, I wanted to see where this piece was featured because I knew it came out of a motor piece that Lego had made. Well, this is just one of these sets. So this is a long, well, not a long line, but a line of sets nonetheless from the early 2000s, 2002 into 2003. And those contained this sort of electronic hub. Now the hub is this piece right here. And now you can see exactly what is going on. I think I kind of understand how this works generally. I'm not positive, but my thought at the moment is that at the very front of the vehicle, you can see that there, or of the hub rather, you can see that there's this sort of axle input. Maybe that is a motor. Maybe that is something waiting to be turned. I honestly don't know because I don't have this piece. But my thought right now is that when it turns, it sort of grabs onto that opening in the body itself. Now, I don't have this piece, so I can't test that. That's just one way I could see it working, but it could be a bunch of different things, right? So it's a really fascinating piece nonetheless, but there are a lot of pieces that Lego has made kind of like this, right? Not necessarily always, electronic pieces, but you've got like the Kodak blaster, which is made of multiple internal pieces. You've got so many more linear actuators, things even to this day that Lego makes that are multiple smaller components put together and creating one larger operable item. But what's rare, what's kind of special about this one is that the piece, the separate independent piece that goes into making this is fully Technic compatible. That's usually not the case for other sort of sub assemblies that Lego has made. Like I said, with that Kodak blaster, they don't have extra connection points hidden that away from your use, right? So I find it really fascinating that you can get to something like that here by taking this motor apart or whatever the case may be, right? And just generally speaking, it's a really fun piece. So hopefully one of these days I'm able to get my hands on one of these, if only just to kind of look at the part itself, because I think it'd be a lot of fun to kind of experiment with and play around with. And there are a decent number of other interesting parts in these sets as well, like this steering hub over here, and, even like some cool tires and things. So yeah, generally a lot of really fun, really cool pieces in the set itself. And one of the things that I think baffled me specifically was when looking at the set, seeing the Borak foot used in the front, upside down to add texture to the front of the vehicle itself. The little things like that, right? So generally speaking, I'm super happy with finding this, but I'd known about it for a little while. I just never really looked into it, never really set aside the time to look and see exactly what is going on. There's some really goofy stuff in here. Yeah, like I've seen this set before because I've seen these gunmetal Borak windscreen pieces on here too. So just generally speaking, a lot of gunmetal used in these sets as well, I've noticed, because I think all 3 of them that I've shown so far have gunmetal to some degree. So, like, it looks dark gray here, but it's gunmetal in the actual inventory. So anyway, that's basically everything I wanted to go over in this video. I just wanted to make something very quick to kind of follow up on this because I thought it was really fascinating stuff. And I always love learning about, is that old dark gray here? Because I didn't know that came in that color, if that is. Now I gotta look. Oh, it is. Cool. Anyway, so generally speaking, that's everything for this video, even discovering little things in the video itself. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, helps the channel out, helps the videos get more views. Yesterday was not great for the channel, but that's all right. And of course, alongside that, you can check out the links for everything in the description below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.